Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of I Trek. Big shout out to everybody that is just tapped in, man. Major shout out to all the fam and the members. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at a painter people believe is a time traveler based on his paintings. And once you see the paintings, I'll let you be the judge. So we'll take a look at that along with a lot of other interesting and creepy clips. But before we do any of that, do me the biggest favor, smash that like button for me, hit that hype button, and hit the subscribe button if you're not already part of the I Trek fam. Man, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Flight prices are surging after these other airlines warned that they may also go bankrupt alongside Spirit in what could become the largest airline failures in history. Hundreds of thousands of travelers had their flights cancelled with no prior warning when budget airline Spirit failed to reach a deal with the Trump administration. Spirit reportedly rejected a proposal to give the White House the right to buy 90% of the airline in exchange for $500 million in federal aid. As a result, flight prices across the country are rapidly rising, causing the U.S. Transportation Secretary to force domestic airlines to cap their prices and give priority booking to affected Spirit travelers. But now, multiple other airlines are reportedly also facing the same problem the Spirit was. They informed the White House that the recent spike in fuel prices is rapidly eating through their cash reserves, warning that they won't be able to last much longer, with a group made up of Frontier, Allegiant, and Avilo now asking the government for a combined $2.5 billion in aid.
These climbing oil prices are definitely taking a toll on every industry, but the aviation industry is taking it the hardest as of now.
Oh, this isn't a screenshot from a PS2 game, this is a painting from the 50s. And I'm fully convinced after seeing Alex Colville's artwork that this man was a time traveler. And he time traveled to like 2007, played The Sims on PS2, and went back and painted about it. Because like I said, all these paintings were done in like the 40s and 50s. And Alex was apparently a part of the Canadian Army at the time. I mean, look at this though. It looks just like PlayStation 2 graphics or OG Xbox. Even the splashing in the water. Look at the way the water looks. I've never seen other artwork like this either. Like I said, the man was in the military in the 40s and 50s. Maybe he stumbled upon a time machine. Because there's just something about his paintings that seems so digital. I mean, you could use this as a screenshot for an indie game on Steam and assume that this is in the game and not a painting from 1953. Do I have any other proof that this man's a time traveler? No. By God, you could sell me this game. It looks like Red Dead 1, not 2. Go look him up on Google and you can see more of his work. It's crazy.
Japan is testing out humanoid robots in their airports for extra help. China, as we see, are using humanoid robots in their police task force. So in about 5 years, the quality of these robots will be so impeccable you won't know who's who.
2 days before his death, he said this.
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that. Because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary.
That was David Wilcock, a paranormal author and Ancient Aliens contributor, known for claims about UFOs, hidden technology, and government cover-ups. In the video, he referenced a series of recent deaths and disappearances tied to researchers and scientists in space, energy, and defense fields that he and many others believed were connected. Just 2 days later, on April 20th, 2026, in Colorado, deputies responded to a crisis call. Authorities said Wilcock was found outside with a weapon and died shortly after police arrived. His death was officially ruled a...
You know what they do with their smartest people? Cancel, cancel, cancel. Dopamine block, dopamine block, dopamine block. They get the ideas from you. They get the design. They get the prototype that works the first time you turn it on. And then they cancel it and they take it a level deeper. Because the fact is, it's a waste of your time. If you're a problem solver, if you solve impossible problems, it's a waste of your time to optimize a problem you've already solved for application. So what they do, you solve the impossible problem, and then they cancel it in the white world. They move it a level deeper, they optimize it for the secret application, and they give you a new problem, and then they cancel it. And then they give you a new problem, and then they cancel it. and a new problem, and they cancel it. And they psychologically abuse you into seeking the dopamine of the satisfaction of reward. And they use you as an idea factory. That's what they do to their smartest people. Because if they reward you with success, you rest on your laurels. I'm so fucking smart, I never have to try again.
This video shows us the camouflage of a common barren caterpillar. Honestly, I thought I was tripping when I first saw it, but it was just Mother Nature doing its thing.
Morning, we've all heard about autonomous cars, but now there are autonomous trucks. Engage success. For the first time, a driverless commercial truck delivered freight, completing a 230-mile route from Houston to Dallas on time. This is time-lapse video of that drive with no one in the cab. The company, Bot Auto, argues autonomous trucks are the future. Since there are no drivers, they don't face fatigue or need brakes, reducing overall costs.
We go where sometimes humans do not want to go. I-45 is very challenging. There's a lot of traffic.
Driverless trucks are only legal in some states. California is not one of them yet, but the DMV just gave the green light to test heavy-duty autonomous vehicles, including semi-trucks on California roads. This small trucking company owner supports the technology.
If you ask any truck company what their biggest problem is, it's usually the drivers, keeping them safe and keeping them out of accidents. With automated trucks, those things are easier to deal with.
The California Teamsters Union is against the move. They plan to continue pushing for good jobs and road safety, saying the DMV's decision to rush forward with driverless heavy-duty trucks is reckless.
Clearly, though, there's drawbacks. It definitely has the potential to improve goods movement, to lower costs of moving freight, but it's going to change our workforce.
Experts say these advancements mean driverless trucks could drive 24/7.
If you're a truck driver, they just gave you the play. You gotta be an owner. You just got to, because if not, you'll definitely be outworked by these soulless machines.
This is not what you think it is. I was just warning yesterday about the rising water temperature and, the El Nino or whatever that's coming, the worst in 150 years. There's absolutely a Red Sea, but why is it a Red Sea? These are all dead shrimp. Completely irrelevant. You remember when Gina posted this a couple days ago? And it was just like all these random beams just heading into the ocean and also, into these certain countries. Completely unrelated from frequency. It's definitely getting wild. Yellowstone, volcanoes, earthquakes, 17 outside of Area 51 alone. And now, randomly unrelated, we have millions and millions of shrimp just passing away in the water, turning the water blood red, by the way. And people think that everything is normal, totally. And of course, we now have what they claim is going to be another solar flare. Of course, they're not lying at all. And of course, the Schumann frequency is not bilaterally picking up other frequencies. And of course, it's totally not. It's unrelated from our, us and our health and our sleep rhythms and everything else.
Right? And you can see, if I wanted to, it's not just gonna fall out. This stuff is in there,
What the footage showed left them baffled. The uploader demonstrates that the flowers are firmly placed, not something that would just fall out on its own. You'd have to physically pull them to remove them. Videos like this are compelling because they remove many of the usual objections. This isn't a shaky handheld clip or a dramatic recreation. It's straightforward security camera footage showing an object moving when it shouldn't. The uploader's genuine confusion only adds to the credibility.
And you can see, if I wanted to, it's not just gonna fall out. This stuff is in there,
Was this the work of an unseen presence, or is there a mundane explanation for what this camera recorded?
A Milwaukee cop just resigned after using flock cameras to stalk a woman he was dating. He ran her plate 179 times in 2 months. According to the Institute for Justice, this is happening all over the country. They've documented at least 14 cases of officers using license plate readers to stalk romantic partners, exes, and in one case, a complete stranger a Florida deputy spotted on a TV set and decided to pull over. A Kansas police chief ran his ex-girlfriend's plate over 200 times. A Kentucky officer tracked an ex hundreds of times in 2 months. months. Every single one of these searches was logged as an investigation. The Milwaukee cop only got caught because his victims looked themselves up on a public website called Have I Been Flocked?
Why our butts are split vertically instead of horizontally, because if they weren't, we make a clapping sound every time we walk down the stairs. It'll be like...
Are the top 3 signs that you're starting to truly become spiritually awake. The first sign is that you begin treating your inner world as something real. You realize your emotions and subconscious patterns are not just private experiences locked inside your head. They have tangible effects on your physical reality. You begin to understand that the physical world is, in at least a partial sense, a projection of higher realms, and that those realms can be interfaced with directly through emotion, sustained thought, and the subconscious mind. The second sign is that you're starting to remember your dreams more clearly, and your dreams are becoming more logical. Rudolf Steiner asserted that increasingly coherent dreams that you remember are one of the first signs that a person is beginning to resonate with higher realms. The third sign that you're becoming spiritually awake is that you start developing a strong aversion to processed foods and even meat. As your consciousness heightens, you may become more sensitive to the energetic quality of what you consume. Processed foods can feel toxic and spiritually dulling, while meat carries a lowly, animalistic energy that distorts the astral body and makes the person more materialistic, reactive, and combative, tethering them to the lower realms. Despite this, Steiner warned that vegetarianism is not for everyone, since some lifestyles are not suited for heightened spiritual sensitivity.
What I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. Huffines and his wife are the new owners of Epstein's Zorro Ranch via a shell company. Epstein's ranch is owned by a man who funds newborn heart cell harvesting. Huffines is CEO of Hest, which invests in secretome therapeutics, which takes cells harvested from the hearts of newborns under 30 days old for the treatment of cardiovascular disease. I repeat, newborns. The new owner of Zorro Ranch is funding this developing therapy. Here's Huffines with Steve Bannon, who is also in the Epstein files extensively. Huffines' son is on Trump's cabinet. There are only 3 scientists in the whole world who specialize in this research, and one of them, Eric Olson, appears twice in the Epstein files. Candace has recently connected Erica Kirk and Epstein via Next Modeling Agency, allegedly. If you've been following, I've done a deep dive as well. Turning Point Action has recently endorsed him in his campaign for Texas Comptroller. So is this another connection between Erica Kirk and Epstein? If you know anything about Zorro Ranch, you know that there have been very disturbing allegations. I have an entire Epstein series on it. Epstein told a fellow eugenist that he hoped to freeze his brain and his little manhood down there at death so that his organs could be revived for future transhumanism. If you've been following me, you also know that I found out that the Huffines alleged that they're going to put a Christian retreat on their new ranch. Elisa Valdez says that the only reason that they even said that they're trying to build a Christian retreat is because they got caught digging illegally without permits, allegedly. So they purchased it in 2023 and tried to hide their names in a shell company. But then Clara Bates, a reporter, she found out their identity and revealed it. And at that point is when they said, oh, we're just doing a Christian retreat. That's why we're digging. But Elisa Valdez says that she tried to find paperwork on that, and there's no paper trail showing that they are making this Christian retreat. When I found out that Turning Point Action had endorsed Huffines, I made a post about it, and many of you guys said that I should email Candace Owens, and many of you tagged her, so thank you for that. For this post, please tag any major content creators that you know who are covering Epstein. I believe that this deserves attention and further investigation. By no means am I alleging anything illegal or unethical. If you can, please take the time to read Elisa Valdez Rodriguez, her write-up. She did a 4-part series and it goes way deeper than I did. So check it out. Everything in this post is alleged and in my opinion, in her opinion.
This seems like an exaggerated comparison, but you will not believe what they are doing to bread. This guy grabbed some 100% whole wheat, nature's own bread, advertising to be healthy or something, but look at what happens when he runs it underwater. It basically just turns into a sponge. This is not what's supposed to happen with bread. Like, that is just ridiculous. And the fact that people are still buying this, thinking it's even a semi-healthy option. And it's also the fact if you leave this out for like 3 weeks or a month, people report it still doesn't go moldy. When you're getting real bread, it goes bad in like 2-3 days. This is not normal.
A road so terrifying, it feels like you're driving on the edge of the sky. The Shushan Cantilevered Road in China is carved directly into sheer vertical cliffs, hanging nearly 6,000 feet above a river valley. One small mistake here, and it's not a car accident. It's practically an air disaster. This narrow road twists like a ribbon along the mountain, with sharp turns, blind corners, and nothing but open air beside you. Even experienced drivers admit the moment they start driving, their legs begin to shake. But this road isn't just about danger. It connects a remote village, so isolated that before the road existed, some residents had never left the mountain in their entire lives. Now, what was once unreachable is finally connected to the outside world. Driving here feels surreal, like floating through clouds with the ground thousands of feet below you. It's not just a road, it's a lifeline and one of the most extreme driving experiences on Earth.
No human being, no conditioned human being sees reality as it is. You see reality as your nervous system allows it. And the moment you wake up from that is to wake up from the hell realm.
In 1977, Chief A.J. Huffer was hired to look for giant birds called Thunderbirds in Illinois. In July, he spotted large birds and recorded this video. He was originally hired by CBS News to obtain footage of the legendary creatures. This footage became so popular that it was eventually featured on an episode of Monster Quest. For centuries, indigenous traditions across North America have told stories of massive birds associated with storms, thunder, and the sky itself. But by the 1970s, some people began to believe that Thunderbirds might actually be out there and not just a myth. So Huffner went out into the Illinois wilderness with a camera searching for evidence when he claimed he spotted something extraordinary. Several enormous birds flying overhead, unlike anything he believed should be in the area. He began filming immediately, and the footage he captured would go on to become one of the most famous alleged cryptid videos ever recorded. To believers, the footage shows creatures too large to be eagles or vultures, and the shapes don't match any known species either. Of course, skeptics disagree. They argue the footage likely shows extraordinary large birds, maybe turkey vultures or eagles. Plus, why hasn't there been any more modern footage by now, since everyone now has the newest Android or iPhone in their pocket?
It's happening in Mexico. Digital currency just announced today. We heard in the last probably 45 days, they didn't want American dollars in Mexico anymore. If you were going to go, they're trying to pass a bill that if you go to vacation in Mexico, you only deal in pesos. So you have to exchange your currency for their currency. We heard in the last 45 days that there's a bill that's been presented that you can't make fun of any political people, including the president. We are now waiting on her. We went full biometrics. They said it was voluntary, and it's not. It's being asked for at airports and other official offices. If you want to get any benefits from Mexico, you got to give your iris, your eyeball, along with the fingerprints. It's being mandated. The last thing they need to do is a digital passport. That's where they're going. It's the only thing left. 70% of the people in the comments say it's the mark of the beast. What are we going to do? They're flipping out. And the other 30% are like, yeah, this is great. There's always a small percentage of dumb people. It's just how life is. NPCs, non-player characters. There's always going to be some. They're bots. But that's what's happening in Mexico.
Hey, now he wasn't lying. There's always going to be a few NPCs. But outside of that, I've been noticing a lot of countries wanting their own digital currency. So it's not a lot of people trying to sign up for BRICS. They just want their own thing. Which begs the question, why is the U.S. taking so long?
There is no way you can tell me that these tree formations are natural. There's no way this couldn't have been actual humans that somehow got turned into trees. I mean, look at this, right? This is just crazy. But I just don't think this is natural. And look at the fashion industry. What's up with them wearing these glowing masks inside of clothing as if this represents some type of entity? I mean, what's going on with the world, right?
Stumbled across a creepy home that was covered up in the middle of the desert in an unknown location. So he decided to uncover it and have a look. What's down the dark home?
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
After enhancing the brightness, we can see what potentially looks like many pairs of glowing eyes lurking at the bottom of the dark hole.
We just got home and the weirdest thing has just now happened. Jeff was like, oh my gosh, did you see that? I said, no. He said, go around the house and look. And the weirdest thing, this is what we saw. And if you can explain it for me, please do.
What in the world? This is staying still. This is just... None of the other ones are doing this. What?
I can't really explain that other than something beyond the normal, spirits. I used to live in a house where the bed I slept in was facing towards the blinds. And every now and then, the blinds would just start moving. There was no air. There was no air conditioner going. There was nothing going on, but they would just start moving. And that clip reminds me of that big time. There's definitely some paranormal activity going on. If you've experienced that, definitely drop it in the comments and let me know what it was.
The following video was captured by a man named Carlos Leon out of Pine Top, Arizona, around January 21st, 2026. His home security camera captured something absolutely unexplainable and weird. For a few seconds, around 2 a.m. in the morning, everything was pitch black, and then suddenly it lit up as if it was daytime, and then it went dark again. They have no idea what caused this. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think. There is one thing we have to stop doing, and that's normalizing unexplainable, weird events. This is one of those. This isn't something that you can easily explain away. It leads to more questions we should be asking. Is this alien or is this military? And keep in mind, there were no active police presence going on around 2 o'clock in the morning in Pine Top. If you're from Arizona, you know Pine Top is a very small rural town. But there is one thing we are very famous for, and that was Travis Walton's abduction in Strawberry, Arizona. Take a look at this, comment below, tell me what you think.
We definitely have some iTrack fam in Arizona. I need you to tap in and let me know how real you think that is, or do you think it's cap?
The following footage shows a store employee who's working late at night when something terrifying happens. Martinez215, the person who suggested the video, writes, "This video comes from the owner of a store in Mexico. The store itself has a history of strange occurrences, some of which are really disturbing. But this one is by far the most disturbing thing that's happened. This is what was captured." Needless to say, the store owner who appears on camera was left baffled. Given the history of strange occurrences that have taken place at the store, viewers believe that a malevolent force is responsible for this terrifying encounter.
Something weird is happening in the middle of the ocean, and I don't see many people talking about it, so I want to show this video to you. Basically, these guys are in a boat in the middle of the ocean. They're just cruising through, minding their own business, and you're gonna see this weird phenomenon. This may be normal, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone talking about it, not trying to start a conspiracy, but take a look. You're gonna see the water be really like smooth here, and then they're going through a part that's really, really rough. Now, I can't... Right here. So you can... it's kind of... Yeah, right here. See this line? They're in the middle of the ocean. The water is the same depth on here as it is here, but it goes from super rough to really smooth, completely different textured water. I do not know what causes this. Maybe some of you experts out there can give us a hand, but this is kind of crazy phenomena. This is happening out in the middle of the ocean. Let us know what you think is happening and follow for more.
Hey, we'll stop right up here.
All right, sounds good. Whoa. Jeremy? Jeremy! Jeremy! Jeremy!
I ask that we all stand for one last song.
I mean, were they trying to insinuate the rapture just happened in the middle of church? That was pretty wild.
Scientists have developed the world's first wireless mind control system.
Control mice with the flick of a switch. The mice were engineered with nanoparticle activated switches in their brains and then turning on a magnetic field. They're calling the tech magnetogenic interface for neurodynamics, or nanomind for short.
So what they use is called a viral vector. A viral vector is a virus, adreno-associated viruses. They change the RNA and DNA. That's how they program viruses. Once they get in, they can replicate. They inject this virus. The virus is used to deliver this genetic code, and then it mutates inside your brain. They're called ion channels. And then these ion channels, they stick to these magnetic nanoparticles. And then whenever there's a magnetic field, it kind of pulls a torque on those nanoparticles. And then the brain interprets that torque as activation for neurons. And then if they have multiple nanoparticles in other areas, and then they allow these magnetic fields to activate in certain sequences, certain neuron paths will open in certain patterns. Auditory or visual, your frontal lobe, which then will cause you to do certain activity or feel certain things. And it's done wirelessly. Imagine if all these drones sending electromagnetic pulses through your phone, through your smart glasses, and then they can have an EEG device in there to read the waves, verify that things are being changed, and then sending new pulses to activate more actions.
You wouldn't even need to use the excuse, oh, we need a vaccine. They could be putting that in your food. They could be making it airborne. It's getting creepy out here.
Other life out there?
There has to be.
Well, it's
there has
interesting.
To be.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to take this one, but just my reflections are that one of the primary questions we ask ourselves as humans is, are we alone? And this journey that we were privileged enough to start, I think is the best way that we can start to answer that question. Going back to the moon, taking what we learned there to learn about how all solar systems form, going to Mars where we might find evidence of past life in our own. It's pretty exciting stuff, and we have a chance to answer those questions.
I thought I heard something down
me good.
Y'all know about the P-47 and the P-52s, y'all, okay? And if you don't, they're basically us 47 to 52,000 years in the future, okay? So what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is that these things are scary as hell, okay? And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Adult humans are from 4'11 to about 6'5", average height, okay? Then you get into your Victor Wembanyama's and Shaq's and Yao Ming's, they're about almost damn near 7 feet tall, okay? So just imagine yourself the height you are now if you were one of these things, okay? Just think for a second, y'all. Just really fucking think, okay? Because these things are also known as the Greys, okay? And I'm sure we all know what the Greys are, okay? We all know the Greys. They have been visiting this planet since early history, okay? But now that we know that they're ultra-terrestrials and they're us from the future, umpteen thousand years in the future, okay? I don't think I want to meet no quote-unquote alien or interdimensional beings. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the first one to say it. I don't want to meet it. I'm sorry. I don't. And it's like, to think your great-great-grandchildren times umpteenth whatevers, it's gonna be one of these things.
I'm here to tell you that if you eat a fish fillet from McDonald's, I genuinely believe that you would eat a human being.
Fun fact of the day. There are 2 neighboring lakes in British Columbia, Canada, named Another Lake and Another Lake.
There's some crazy things happening in the world right now. A man was charged in what was referred to as the largest jewelry heist in US history and avoided trial by getting deported. After Nintendo banned an infamous Japanese adult-only Animal Crossing island, the creator said, "Thanks for turning a blind eye for all these years." A new study came out that suggests that women overall on average perceive AI as riskier and are more skeptical of it than men. Scientists copied a fruit fly's brain into a computer, neuron by neuron, with no training data and no machine learning. Someone maybe just open sourced software that sees you through walls using only Wi-Fi signal. A civil war has broken out between 2 different factions of chimpanzees in Uganda. There's about 200 chimpanzees involved, and researchers have been watching this build up for a decade. The US government recently registered the domain name aliens.gov. There's been a club established at a Costco in Utah where it gives men a safe place to open up and find emotional support. My name's Adorian. Follow me to stay in the loop.
I was in Mombasa, Kenya on the coast. I go talk to the local fisherman. I said, "Mermaid's real." He said, "Of course. But we can't tell them that. We won't get no tourism dollars. But at nighttime, you are not allowed to go to the water's edge." And all across the coast, everybody got electric fences, and you can't go outside at a certain time. Did you see the guy on Joe Rogan's podcast when he said that we went to Seychelles Islands?
Yeah, what he said?
He saw the merman?
Yeah.
All of the pirate maps from the 1500s to 1810 had areas where they said sirens existed, beware. The guy from the Fugees, Wyclef, you see what he said?
What he say?
He said he dated a mermaid.
I gotta go looking that down. You gonna have me up all night again, bro?
Oh yeah, I do this. Bro, whatever people call me about, I go investigate wherever it is on the world. And I've been to places where they don't smile and talk about mermaids, bro. They don't smile about it. They don't laugh about it.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, so everything that we take here is like folklore. Out the country is real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The man said, "Look, you're a big guy. Mermaid bigger. Don't go to the water's edge." I'm like, say less. Hold the grave. I ain't going over there.
Fuck that.
Mermaids is real, bro.
Speaking of
cradle myself, I tell you guys, this stuff is really freaking me out. This cup is the one that fell and landed under here. I don't know why. I don't know why that's going on. But it's really, really freaky. Can you move something else again for me? Anything? Oh! I can't hear you. Can you maybe speak a little louder? Oh my goodness. Okay, I know you're in here. I just want to know what your name is. And if there's anything I can do to help you. Is there anything at all? Is there a place that you want to go to? A place that you need to be? Anything? Cool. Okay, it's freaking me out, but you're not really scary. If I open the door, will you leave? Because I really would like to get to sleep. I'm opening the door. You are welcome to leave. Can you move the phone again? Okay. Oh. If you're in here, will you move the phone again? Will you move the hanger again?
Is it just me, or did he get way too comfortable with having a ghost in his room? I mean, having full-on conversations and stuff like that, it's a little bit too much for me. I don't know. Well, you guys say that's another one in the books, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys for always stopping by, watching, and learning with me. If you haven't already, do me the biggest favor and smash that like button for me, hit that hype button, and hit that subscribe button if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, man, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.